Every time you switch on a light, billions of calculations are happening in real time to make sure the electricity gets to you at exactly the right voltage without the grid collapsing.
Wait, I thought someone just turned a turbine?
That's the old world. The new one has AI forecasting how much wind you'll get tomorrow, predicting when a turbine bearing is about to fail, and balancing a grid that now has millions of inputs from rooftop solar panels to electric vehicles.
And when it gets that wrong?
The lights go out for millions. Welcome back to Daily AI Wizard. This is AI at Work, Episode 5, our season finale, Energy. Anastasia and Sophia take it from here.
Let's start with the size of the problem. Energy grids were built for a simple world. A few large power stations producing steady, predictable output. You turn the dials, you match supply to demand, you keep the voltage stable. But the energy transition has completely disrupted that model. Solar and wind don't produce steadily. They surge when it's sunny or windy and drop when it's not. And we're adding millions of new inputs, rooftop panels, home batteries, electric vehicles, all feeding energy in and taking it out at unpredictable times. Managing this at scale without very smart software is essentially impossible. Meanwhile, the cost of getting it wrong is enormous. The average offshore energy company loses 27 days of operation per year to unplanned downtime. That's $38 million in losses every year per company.
The energy industry has always been technically complex, but for most of its history, it was also relatively simple to manage. Big, centralized power stations producing steady output, with engineers adjusting dials to match demand. The first digital revolution brought SCADA systems and smart meters, collecting mountains of data from substations, turbines, and pipelines. But collecting data and learning from it are different things. Most of that data just sat in databases. The second revolution is now. AI that can actually learn from all those sensors, forecast supply and demand, predict failures before they happen, and balance a grid with millions of variable inputs in real time. The grid is becoming less like a water system and more like a living, learning organism. 4 big areas. 1. Grid balancing. AI forecasting how much power will be generated and consumed minute by minute, so the grid stays stable. 2. Predictive maintenance. AI sensors flagging a wind turbine bearing that's about to fail weeks before it does. 3. Energy efficiency. AI cutting waste in buildings, data centers, and industrial processes. And 4. Renewables integration. Optimizing battery storage, accelerating the connection queue for new solar and wind farms, and managing EV charging loads. Let's start with the most invisible but most critical, keeping the grid balanced. Here's what grid balancing looks like with AI. Every minute, the system is ingesting weather forecasts, live sensor data from substations, current consumption by region, battery storage levels, and energy market prices, and using all of it to predict second by second whether supply and demand are about to come out of balance. If a cloud is about to pass over a solar farm and cut output, the AI has already begun positioning backup storage to fill the gap. If demand spikes at 6 p.m., it's already pre-positioning peaker capacity. In 2025, Google partnered with PJM Interconnection, the largest electric grid in North America, serving 67 million people across 13 states, to deploy AI tools that automate the process of verifying and approving new energy sources connecting to the grid. A process that used to take years is being compressed dramatically.
Give me one example where AI made an unmistakable difference on energy.
Google and DeepMind. Data centers are enormous energy consumers, and Google had already optimized theirs to a very high standard. Then, DeepMind applied AI. Every 5 minutes, the system reads thousands of sensors, temperature, power usage, airflow, workload patterns, and adjusts the cooling system autonomously. No human in the loop making those adjustments.
And the result?
A 40% reduction in energy used for cooling, which translated to a 15% improvement in overall power usage effectiveness. And crucially, it achieved the lowest PUE the site had ever recorded. Safer, not just more efficient. The AI wasn't just cutting costs, it was learning how to keep the facility more stable. Google's team described it as a phenomenal step forward for efficiency. Second use case, predictive maintenance. And this is where the returns are most dramatic. Every wind turbine, pipeline compressor, and power plant component is instrumented with sensors measuring vibration, temperature, pressure, oil quality. AI models learn what normal looks like for each piece of equipment, then flag anomalies. The key capability? 7 to 21 days of advance warning on most failure types. That's enough time to order the right parts, schedule the right crew, and plan the repair during a low production window. EDF Renewables deployed an AI early warning system and cut their unplanned outage rate by 30%. One gas pipeline operator reduced turbine failures from 6 per year to 0 after AI deployment. Total annual savings? $6.8 million. The predictive maintenance market in energy hit $2.25 billion in 2025, growing at over 25% annually, and 95% of adopters report positive ROI.
So we're adding more and more solar and wind, but how do you actually run a reliable grid when the wind stops blowing?
3 AI tools working together. First, renewable forecasting. AI that predicts output hours ahead with high accuracy, so operators know when a wind farm will drop and can pre-position backup. GAN-based models are reducing solar forecasting error by 15 to 20%. Second, battery storage optimization. AI deciding minute by minute when to charge from the grid, when to discharge to the grid, and when to sell stored energy at peak price, making storage economically viable at scale. And third, EV smart charging. By 2030, there will be hundreds of millions of electric vehicles. AI can coordinate their charging to happen when renewable supply is high and prices are low, turning EV fleets into a giant distributed battery.
Or the EVs aren't just using the grid, they're helping balance it.
Exactly. Vehicle to grid is the next frontier. Fourth use case, energy efficiency, which is less visible but enormously impactful. Smart building AI manages heating, ventilation, and lighting based on occupancy, weather forecasts, and energy prices, cutting consumption without anyone noticing. Industrial AI optimizes furnace temperatures, compressor schedules, and manufacturing processes to minimize energy at each step. And at the grid level, the U.S. Department of Energy estimates that AI-powered grid modernization could cut outages and disturbances by up to 30%. For a country that loses tens of billions of dollars annually to power outages, that's transformative. And remember the DeepMind example? Even Google's already highly optimized data centers gained 40% cooling savings. There's efficiency headroom in virtually every corner of the energy system. 40%. That's what AI saved on cooling energy at data centers Google had already spent a decade optimizing. Not by replacing the equipment, not by building something new, just by reading the sensors more often and making smarter decisions. In an industry where a single percentage point of efficiency improvement is celebrated, 40% is extraordinary. And that same principle, read more, learn faster, decide smarter, scales to every power station, wind farm, pipeline, and building on Earth. The same 4-step loop, but with one addition that doesn't appear in banking or healthcare. Step 4 is cybersecurity. Energy AI reads data from operational technology networks, the systems that physically control power generation, transmission, and distribution. These are the most critical and the most targeted infrastructure in the world. A cyber attack on an AI grid management system isn't just a data breach, it's a potential blackout for millions. The 2021 Colonial Pipeline attack and the 2024 attacks on European grid infrastructure made clear that AI in energy must be built with cyber hardening as a first principle, not an afterthought. The OT networks that AI talks to must be segmented, monitored, and defended with the same rigor as the AI itself.
So AI makes renewables viable. What's the worry?
Concentration of intelligence. In banking, if an AI fails, someone can't make a payment. Frustrating. In energy, if an AI grid management system fails or is attacked, you can get cascading failures across interconnected infrastructure. The 2003 Northeast blackout wasn't caused by AI, but it shows the principle. One failure propagating across a highly interconnected system, affecting 55 million people. Now imagine that with AI making thousands of autonomous decisions per second and a well-targeted cyber attack deliberately causing contradictory instructions across the grid.
So the smarter the grid, the more catastrophic a single point of failure.
If it's not designed with resilience and human override from the ground up, yes.
Okay, what keeps energy AI experts up at night?
3 things. First, cyber attacks surface. Every sensor connection, every AI decision node, every API between systems is a potential entry point. The more AI we put in the grid, the more attack surface we create. State-level adversaries have already shown interest in probing energy infrastructure. AI makes the stakes higher. Second, algorithmic brittleness. AI models are trained on historical data, but extreme weather events, novel demand scenarios, or the kind of cascading failure the model has never seen before can cause it to behave in ways no one anticipated. A model that works perfectly 99.9% of the time can still fail catastrophically in the 0.1% when you most need it.
And the third, head.
Energy justice, a quieter concern. AI-driven dynamic tariffs and smart grid pricing can be designed to favor technically sophisticated users and penalize those without smart devices, high-speed internet, or the ability to shift their consumption. That can worsen energy poverty.
So how do you build AI for a system where failure can mean millions of people without power?
3 non-negotiables. 1. Human override. Every autonomous AI action on the grid must be reversible and overridable by a human operator in real time. The DeepMind cooling system was built exactly this way. Human operators can turn it off instantly. 2. Cyber hardening. OT networks that touch physical infrastructure must be segmented from IT systems, monitored continuously, and kept on air-gapped backups where possible. 3. Stress testing on scenarios the model has never seen. Train on history, but test against extreme weather events, cyber attack scenarios, and novel demand patterns before deployment.
And the regulators?
FERC in the US is actively developing guidance on AI and grid management. Europe's AI Act classifies power grid AI as critical infrastructure, high risk, mandatory human oversight. IBM and partners are building foundation models specifically for power grids. The infrastructure for trustworthy energy AI is taking shape, just not fast enough, given the pace of deployment.
So where is energy AI heading?
3 directions. First, grid foundation models. IBM and partners are building what they call Grid FM. Think of it as a GPT for the entire power system, a single model trained on data from every type of grid asset, able to forecast, diagnose, and optimize across the whole network, expected to launch in 2025-26. Second, autonomous energy agents. AI that doesn't just advise, but acts, scheduling its own maintenance, trading energy in real-time markets, managing storage dispatch end-to-end with minimal human instruction. Third, peer-to-peer energy. Your rooftop solar trading directly with your neighbor's battery, with AI as the broker and the settlement system. The grid becomes a marketplace, not just a utility.
That's a fundamentally different relationship between people and energy.
It is, and it only works if the AI underneath is trustworthy, secure, and resilient. The energy transition and the AI transition are the same transition.
Oliver, we're at the season finale. Bring it home.
4 things to remember. 1. AI is the engine of the renewable transition. Without it, the grid simply cannot handle the variability of solar and wind at scale. 2. The wins are transformative. 40% energy savings, turbine failures reduced to 0, 30% fewer outages. 3. The risk is systemic. When AI controls infrastructure that serves millions, a failure isn't an inconvenience, it's a potential crisis. And 4. Resilience and human override aren't optional features. They're the load-bearing walls.
Over 5 episodes, we've been through banking, insurance, government, healthcare, and now energy. One theme every single time. The technology is extraordinary, and the guardrails are what make it safe to use.
That's the whole thesis of this series. This is the end of Season 1. Tell us in the comments which industries you want in Season 2. I'm Oliver.
And I am Olga. Thank you for watching AI at Work. We'll see you in Season 2.